Now let's get into our next guest from a company called Decoflame. His name is Tim Lane. Tim, welcome to the show today. How you doing?
Doing very well, thank you, and thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you on, Tim. And first, tell us off the bat here what Decoflame is, what it's about.
Well, Decoflame USA is a manufacturer of bioethanol fireplaces. And basically, there's some uniqueness. There's certainly other types of bioethanol products in the marketplace. But what makes us unique is they are wall-mounted. You mount them like a flat-screen television, and they don't require any other installation of electrical parts, any type of ventilation. You can just have them, and you can literally install them in less than 30 minutes.
Okay. Let's see here. Bioethanol fireplaces. Okay. Explain to us how it all works.
Well, basically, a bioethanol fireplace burns bioethanol fuel. And, of course, there's been all types of bioethanol types of products, fuel products, over the years. Ours is a liquid bioethanol fuel. It's derived from sugar beet, which is very critical because compared to a lot of other bioethanol fuels in the marketplace, that fuel burns 98.5% pure, which qualifies us for a lot of various things, including a 10% government rebate, and it's also allowed us to be awarded a lot of various ecological awards throughout North America.
Okay. And so they buy the fuel from you folks at Decoflame?
Yes, and we have a very extensive website, decoflameusa.com, and we list dealers and distributors throughout the country. All you do is punch in your zip code. We find one that's close to you. If you're not close to one of our dealers or distributors, we have two very wonderful online distributors of our product, and you can source the fuel and the fireplaces through any of those various locations.
Okay, so it's decoflameusa.com and Deco, D-E-C-O, flame just like it sounds, decoflameusa.com, and you have distributors across the country, and it mounts, like you said, like a television on your wall. How did they come up with this idea? Where did it originate?
Well, Europe always seems to be ahead of us, especially in green technology. And the original bioethanol fireplaces were developed in Europe and predominantly in countries like Holland and Belgium and Germany, which certainly has some cold winters and some very, very high heating costs. And they also had access to relatively pure bioethanol fuel that would allow them to burn these in-house without any ventilation. So that's basically where the concept was originated 7 to 10 years ago. We are partnered with a company, with our sister company in Canada. They were the first ones to bring it to North America 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago we entered the U.S. market with this product. And essentially it was about having a product that was UL listed, and I say that because, you know, any appliance that you have, you want to see that UL tag on it, and we are the only UL-listed wall-mounted fireplace in North America, and that's very critical for the consumer, I think, in consumer safety, but also it, tests to the fact that, we've manufactured these products to the highest quality that we can.
Yeah, and UL, we have them on the program quite often, representatives from UL, and that is important because products have to pass strict safety standards in order to get the UL label, especially products dealing with heat, electricity, these types of things. So this is very good. And now you have these wall-mounted units, but you have other types of units with Decoflame too.
We do. This past year we introduced what we call our Cube Free. Excuse me, and it's a very unique product. It's a freestanding unit that's been approved to be used indoors or outdoors. And one of the things, and it's really our latest in line of fuel efficiency, our product burns 35% more efficient, and in some cases 75% more efficient, depending on the design of the product. For example, many of our competitors will burn a liter of fuel every hour and a half. This Cube Free, the freestanding unit that you were referring to, it actually burns for 6 to 9 hours on just 2 liters of fuel. So in essence, it's costing the consumer about $1.25 an hour to operate this unit, and it puts out about 8,600 BTUs of clean, energy-efficient, ecological heat. So it's a really neat unit. It's very decorative. And again, the wonderful application is it can be used indoors or outdoors. It's been approved for both uses.
Tim Lane is with us. He is from Decoflame, and their website, decoflameusa.com. That's D-E-C-O, decoflameusa.com. And we're talking about this cube. I'm looking at it online, but describe it for people so they get a kind of a mental image of what this may look like.
Well, basically, it comes in two different colors, black or red, and it's got a base. It's a square base, and that base is approximately 36 inches tall, and then on top of it is 4 pieces of glass, so you create like a standing tower. It's more of a tower look. And on the top, it has a nice cap to be able to distribute the heat evenly and also prevent anybody from reaching into the flame. But the neat thing is the burner was designed so that the flame twists, and then as it gets to a certain point, it drops halfway, and then it rises again and twists. There's a couple of things. Number one, certainly it's a conversation point, and it looks aesthetically very cool. But the other thing is it's also an efficient way to burn fuel. So that way the customer, again, isn't having to replenish the fuel every hour or so like so many of these other units that are on the marketplace. Literally on just 2 liters of fuel, they're going to get up to 9 hours of enjoyment and 9 hours of energy-efficient heat from this particular unit. So it's really neat looking, and we encourage you to go online and take a look at this because it's unique to the industry.
Okay, and people are familiar with the propane or natural gas type fireplaces, of course, the regular wood-burning ones that you can distribute heat throughout the home with blowers and such. How does this compare as far as providing heat for a room to some of the more conventional options that people have?
Well, the wall-mounted units, based on the design, distribute the heat very evenly. So if you're looking at and we basically did this in we tested this in a 400-square-foot room, and we know that our unit will be used in smaller rooms, but we kind of wanted to go to the maximum. But you can raise the temperature of the room 5 to 7 degrees over a 35-minute period with these fireplaces and keep it consistent until, of course, the fuel starts to diminish. So as far as a heat source, most of our designers look at it, oh, wow, these are beautiful. I'd love to put one in one of my homes or one of my condominiums or apartments. They don't think of the heat aspect of it initially until they actually see it and understand that, wow, this is a great heat source. And especially in a family room or something like that where you don't want to run the heat all the time and you're not in it all the time, it's a perfect source of heat. And again, it's very efficient. It's less than $1.50 an hour on the wall-mounted units to operate this unit.
Tim, okay, what are we talking about price-wise here? For the actual wall mount units, and you can talk in generalities, starting at the low end and moving up. And then what is the fuel cost?
Well, our units range from our entry-level unit, which also happens to be one of our most attractive units, which is called the City, where you can purchase it for just under $700. Our highest-end unit on the wall-mounted, which is also our most popular unit, is called the Wave, and that unit is just under $2,000. And the cube that we talked about is just a little under $2,500. So, and also keep in mind, up till the end of the year, you can get a 10% government rebate. So it works out. The fuel runs around $39 for a 4-liter bottle. And I know everybody's going, oh, wow, that's a lot, but it's the highest and most energy efficient. It burns 95% more efficiently than the traditional 86% ethanol. This is 98.5% ethanol. So that's how we're able to qualify for the government energy rebate. So in essence, the way I like to put it is that the competition's burning about 1.5 liters an hour. You put 1.5 liters of fuel into, say, our City unit, and it's going to burn 4 to 6 hours. So again, you're looking at roughly $1.50 an hour to operate this. It's sometimes for the consumer, it's hard to say, oh, look, this is $39 a bottle for this ethanol. But we like to look at it as the most fuel efficient. So really, you're paying half of what you would be paying for less pure ethanol. It may be cheaper.
Tim Lane with us from Decoflame, and again, the website decoflameusa.com. If somebody goes to your website, Tim, besides seeing all the different visual images of the products that you have, what are they going to find up there?
Well, we're very active with the social networking, and we spend a lot of time visiting our dealers and distributors, and we post updates on those type of visits. We have been very fortunate to be on HGTV. We have been on The Price is Right as one of their kind of, you've never seen this before, try to guess the price of this type product.
You've been on The Price is Right with this product?
Yes, and we...
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, now I've been doing this show for 18 years, and I have never had anybody tell me they've had their product on The Price is Right. I'm impressed, okay? Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tim.
Oh, no, I'm saying that they came by our booth at the National Hearth Show, the HPBA show, and loved the product, and the next thing we know, they were contacting us, and how can they purchase one for one of their displays, and how quickly can we get it to a consumer that may, one of their contestants that may win it. And we had great news. In fact, we've just renewed our contract with them, and we're going to be on another 2 episodes for the 2012 season. So they really liked it, and we're pretty excited about that. And, we're on a lot of design shows, and so we try to keep the consumer and our dealers and distributors up to date on what we're doing. And, again, we will be certainly tweeting and posting the connection to be able to hear your show and hear my interviews so that, everybody knows that we're trying to keep this out in the public eye and certainly let people know about this new and wonderful green technology.
All right, well, terrific. And the website says, when art becomes fire. I like that, okay? And Tim's coming to us from the San Diego area. Just real quickly, what region there in the San Diego area, what suburb are you coming from? Because I used to live out there, and I sure liked it.
Well, I live in a place that's very popular, especially with people from Nevada and Arizona. I live in the Point Loma area, which is, of course, the point forms San Diego Bay. So I live right above the bay, facing down the downtown area of San Diego. So pretty close to the heart of San Diego.
All right. Well, I'll be vacationing out there in a couple months, so I always look forward to being in San Diego. So I used to live in Chicago and spend some time in the winters in Pacific Beach, and that sure was a lot of fun. I love that area out there, San Diego. Well, Tim, good luck to you. Why don't you give us some contact information for Decoflame outside of the website?
Well, I think, again, the best way probably is to reach us. But, of course, if you need specific information, you can always reach us. We're located, our offices are located just outside of Los Angeles, and they can reach us at 626-246-0790. But all that information's on our website. And certainly if you are a Twitter fan, follow us on Twitter, and you can also follow us on Facebook.
Okay, and again, decoflameusa.com. Tim Lane with us. He's the Director of Sales and Marketing for Decoflame USA, coming to us from Southern California. And, Tim, we sure appreciate you coming on the show today. Good luck to you and Decoflame, and we'll sure have you back on sometime down the road, all right?
Well, that sounds terrific, and you have a great show, and we really are honored and privileged to be a part of it today. So thank you so much.
All right, glad to have you on. Tim Lane, Decoflame. Check him out, decoflameusa.com. I'm Dave Rusch, along with producer Regina Sipple. This is Home Improvement USA. We invite you to check us out online. You can go to your favorite search engine and put in Home Improvement USA Radio. We come up in a